Welcome back to the Board of Education, Queen Anne's County, June the 2nd, 2021. Will you stand for the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody's had a chance to look at the agenda. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. I've had a chance to look at the minutes, both May 26th for open and close. Everybody had a chance to look at those?
Yeah, I make a motion, sir, to approve the minutes for May 26, 2021, open and closed.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Kane, we have recognitions.
We do. Some special recognitions tonight. Down there. Good evening. So we have some very, very special recognitions this evening, and we are going to start by recognizing our Teacher of the Year and our Employees of the Year, along with the sponsors of last year's Teacher of the Year celebration. So we'll start with our 2021 Toy Teacher of the Year Platinum sponsors. Okay. All right, very good. I guess I'm in charge of that part. So tonight we'll recognize our platinum sponsors that helped to make our 2021 Teacher of the Year and Employee of the Year annual award celebration a success. Our outstanding sponsors have a major role in making sure this event can occur, and we want to express our appreciation to each of them. All of the awards that are presented during the celebration were donated by our amazing community partners, as well as the fabulous prizes for each honoree. Logos and websites of all of our sponsors are posted on the Queen Anne's County Public Schools website to further acknowledge them for their support. I have the pleasure of having a few of the platinum sponsors with me tonight, and I would like you to come forward, if you will. We do have some recognitions for you. I believe we may need, okay, very good. You have that, Ms. Bass. So we have Ms. Amy Bateman from Data Networks. Ms. Bateman, thank you so much. Ms. Bass is going to recognize you. Thank you so much. And if you step right here, we'll take a picture.
Yes, I should shake hands. Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
We have George Greenway from Hertridge Ford of Easton. Not here. And then we have Doug Eater, I hope I'm saying that correctly, from Oak Contracting, LLC. Thank you so much. If you'll step right here.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Mr. Mick Rayburn from Whiting Turner. All right. Thank you so much.
Nice to see you again. Thank you.
Likewise. I'd like to recognize some other platinum sponsors that unfortunately could not make it here tonight. AIG Retirement Services, DD McCracken Home Team, Kent Island American Legion Post 278, The Marksman Company, Oak Contracting, Power School, Preston Automotive Group, Queen Anne's County Commissioners, and Soitman Family Dentistry. Thank you again to our sponsors for your continued support and for making this such a special year for our award winners. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now for our 2019-2020 Employees of the Year and Teacher of the Year winners, because we were not able to recognize them in person last year, it is our distinct pleasure and our honor to recognize them tonight. So tonight we're having our long overdue recognition of some of our talented, hardworking, dedicated Queen Anne's County Public Schools employees. We'll be able to recognize them for their 2019-2020 Employee of the Year and Teachers of the Year, and this evening we'll take that opportunity to do that. So we want to thank them for their service, for focusing on the success of our students, and we are so fortunate to have so many outstanding people in our school system. Their sacrifice, their dedication, and love of the profession, whether it is as a teacher, a custodian, a specialist, all of them have a lasting impact on our students. So before we start, once again, we'll take an opportunity to thank our sponsors, and many of them have been faithful sponsors for years. We are incredibly grateful for their continued support. It's amazing how community members just step forward to support their own. And these generous donations cannot go overlooked. So for everything that they have done in the past and continue to do, we thank our sponsors. Now, let us go ahead and celebrate our winners and our finalists. We will start with our Bus Driver of the Year, and that is Miss Marty Dawkins. Come right forward right here, Ms. Dawkins. Ms. Dawkins started as a substitute bus driver and was then hired to be a driver trainer evaluator. Bus driving runs in the family. Her mother, her father, her sister, all were bus drivers. And we've got a beautiful picture of you right behind you, Ms. Dawkins.
There too.
Her husband, Michael, purchased his first bus 35 years ago, and daughter Jenna drives in Delaware. In your spare time, you spend time painting nature and water landscapes. She's plenty of inspiration to do this here on the Eastern Shore, and she is humbled with this honor and will always say, my kids are the best. Yeah,
And
there
they
you go.
are.
Congratulations, Ms. We are just recognizing you. We would like to get a picture with
Oh,
you.
my goodness, with the mask, without?
Your call. Step right here.
Oh, okay.
Your call. There you go.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I do have the best kids ever.
Yes,
I
yes, you
mean,
do.
we teach them manners. These bus drivers are awesome. They really are.
We agree. And so are you.
Thank you.
Thank
you very
so
much.
Our next award is for Outstanding Operations Employee of the Year. And that award goes to Mr. Kevin Hollis. Mr. Kevin Hollis, please step forward. Right here is perfectly fine. A graduate of Queen Anne's County High School, Mr. Hollis has worked his entire 25-plus year career at Centerville Middle School. Last year, with the custodial staff down to 2 employees, Mr. Hollis stepped up to cover shifts to ensure that the building was ready for students and staff. He greets everyone with a smile, and we can see it behind that gaiter, and a laugh. He is an amazing team player who's willing to help everyone. He enjoys working with such a great group of people, the CMS staff. Thank you, Mr. Hollis, for all that you do, and congratulations to you. Absolutely. Congratulations. Next, we celebrate our Sodexo Employee of 2019-20, Miss Betty Higgs, who is not able to be with us tonight. Ms. Higgs has over 30 years of experience working in the food service industry. Her work with Sodexo started at Queen Anne's County High School in 1990, and Queen Anne's County, Centerville Middle School she also has, and is currently stationed at Kennard Elementary School. She looks forward to greeting and serving the students and staff there every single day. She enjoys her summers off so that she can relax and prepare for the next school year. And it is my pleasure to congratulate Miss Betty Higgs, Sodexo Employee of the Year. Next, we congratulate Miss Lori Milner from Graysonville Elementary School. She was the 2019-2020 Outstanding Secretary of the Year. Great, I'm glad you have your crew with you. Mrs. Milner started out at Queen Anne's County Public Schools as a substitute teacher and has been a secretary at Graysonville Elementary for over 5 years. She started the school system to make a difference in the lives of our community's youth. She also works after school for Partnering for Youth. She thinks the students have made a positive impact on her life as well. She thanks her family, Rob, Sydney, Celeste, and Reese, along with her school family, for this honor. And we have all of them with you, along with your principal, Mrs. Camp. Congratulations, Mrs. Milner. We'll take a photo.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations, well done. Take care. Next, we'll celebrate the Outstanding Paraeducator of the Year, Miss Claire Kelly. Right here, Miss Kelly. Miss Kelly has been a paraeducator in Queen Anne's County for over 22 years. She's lived her entire life on Ken Island and has worked at Ken Island Elementary and now Mattapique Elementary School. She's thankful for the professionalism, the kindness, the support, and team spirit she receives from everyone she currently works with and the many friends she's made over the years. In her spare time, she enjoys cooking, reading, day tripping, but most of all, being close to her family and her friends. Congratulations, Miss Kelly. Well done. Family coming over, we'll take a photo.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next, our 2019-20 recipient of the Outstanding New Teacher Award goes to Miss Shawnee Holtman of Mattapique Elementary School. Right there. Ms. Holtman is homegrown. She graduated from Ken Island High School. She student taught at you student taught at Kennard Elementary School. After graduating from Salisbury University, she was offered a 4th grade position at Mattapique Elementary. She is thankful for the support from her parents who are with her today, her colleagues, and all who have played a role in her journey. Let's congratulate Ms. Holtman, new teacher of the year. Come right over, we'll take a photo.
Or small. You were the last one.
Thank you so much. And next, We will congratulate Miss Jennifer Osborne, Education Specialist of the Year. Ms. Osborne is a reading specialist at Mattapique Elementary School. Ms. Osborne began teaching at Mattapique Middle School, where she taught both 6th and 8th grade language arts while earning her Master of Education in Reading, as well as her Reading Specialist certification from Salisbury University. She then went to Mattapique Elementary as a reading specialist. She is a perpetual student pursuing a doctorate, yay, in education, and she really enjoys learning, especially from her friends, staff, and the students at Mattapique Elementary. Ms. Osborne strives to pass along a love of reading to her students every day, and we congratulate you, Ms. Osborne. Well done. And we've got your principal here with you. Is this your family? Yeah. Come on over. No, we got you here now. Wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you. Okay, next we will welcome our 2019-20 Outstanding Coach of the Year, and that is Mrs. Marlene Stanton. Ms. Stanton, come on in. And family, step right up. Great. Mrs. Stanton has been teaching with Queen Anne's County Public Schools for over 15 years. The majority of the time, she's taught elementary and secondary physical education, but most recently, also health education at Queen Anne's County High School. She has a passion for coaching and has coached multiple high school sports, including soccer, swimming, and lacrosse. She resides in Churchill with her husband, Sam, and her 3 boys, Giles, am I saying that correctly? Giles, Henry, and Graham. Congratulations, Coach Stanton.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Take good care. Excellent. Next, the 2019-20 Outstanding Support Employee Award goes to our very own Mrs. Renee Wolf. Come on in, Mrs. Wolf. Mrs. Wolf is an accountability specialist here at the central office. Come right on over. Ms. Wolf is an Eastern Shore native. She started working in Queen Anne's County Public Schools in 2008, first as an administrative secretary at Centerville Middle School, and then moving to her current role in 2014. She attributes her success to the many great people she has learned from and worked with over the years. If we can turn this page, I'll tell you more. She loves her job and being able to provide support to the schools. Ms. Wolf and her husband Joey live in Centerville with their 2 children, Luke and Leah. She's an active volunteer as well. So let's hear it for Mrs. Wolf. Congratulations. Yep, we'll do it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Bass.
Now I'd like to introduce to you Miss Amanda Bramble, the 2019-20 Outstanding Student Services Employee. Right here. Miss Bramble, oh, yep, come right forward. Absolutely. Yes, I love it. You're fine.
Hi.
Hello. Mrs. Bramble, Miss Bramble received a bachelor's degree in psychology with a minor in educational studies, a master's in psychology, and a certificate of advanced study in school psychology. And you're going to get that dissertation written, right? Another Eastern Shore native, Miss Bramble serves as the school psychologist at 3 schools, Graysonville, Kennard, and Mattapique Elementary. She feels privileged to work every day with the remarkable educators in this county. She also played and coached field hockey at the collegiate level and continues to coach in various capacities locally. Congratulations to you, Miss Bramble.
You guys want to get into one? Or no? Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, our next star is the Outstanding Community Volunteer of the Year, who was not able to be with us tonight, but we congratulate Miss Yolanda Hughes. Miss Hughes was born in Queen Anne's County. She attended Queen Anne's County Public Schools through grade 11 and was homeschooled, but she graduated from Queen Anne's County. She has always been helpful to her family and her friends. Once her niece started school, she began to volunteer, finding her purpose. Assisting children and helping them to grow, she contributed also to her own self-growth. She's grateful for the opportunity and is honored to be appreciated. Congratulations, Ms. Hughes. And now, the 2019-20 Outstanding Leadership Award, right here, goes to Mrs. Teresa Farnell, principal of Centerville Elementary School. Mrs. Farnell spent the first part of her educational career in Talbot County, teaching at the elementary level before moving to Queen Anne's County in 2004. In Queen Anne's County, she has been a teacher specialist and an assistant principal before becoming principal. Education is her passion, and she loves to see children of all ages excited to learn. Building a positive rapport between school, children, and families is imperative for creating a healthy, communicative home-school relationship. She is married to the very fine Reverend Mark Farnell, and they have 2 adult children, Zachary and Joshua, who we have with us today. Zachary, okay. When not in school, Mrs. Farnell loves to spend time with her family, be near or on the water, and exercise. Yeah. Congratulations, Mrs. Farnell, on being named the Outstanding Leadership Honoree. We're just going to take a photo. There you go. Of course. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now it's time to meet the finalists. Well, you've met them before, but since we're going to do it formally tonight, this is the finalists from last year's Teacher of the Year. Know that I am very proud to have them all as teachers in our school system. And now I have the pleasure of introducing our first finalist from last year, Mr. David Cherry from Mattapique Elementary School. All right, Mr. Cherry. And your crew, good to see you.
It's good to see you as well.
Mr. Cherry graduated from Salisbury University with a BSA in elementary education and later earned an MA in STEM education from UMBC. He's been teaching at Mattapique Elementary throughout his educational career. He served as the school improvement team member and a fifth grade team leader, as well as on the STEM Fair Committee. He has written curriculum at the state level for Next Generation Science and accompanied winter and spring concerts on the piano. Mr. Cherry loves working with children and making a positive difference in their lives. He understands that students are constantly developing, not only in the process of their subject matter, but personally and spiritually. Students have to feel comfortable to be successful, and his goal is to make learning fun and meaningful. He feels that the most important aspect of teaching is to create a safe and nurturing environment. He also feels that education goes beyond the school's walls. He has taken his love for STEM to the community in the form of outreach for Boy Scouts and 4-H. He's also written a curriculum for the YMCA summer camps in Easton. And I would also like to add that Mr. Cherry served on my teacher advisory council, staff advisory council. So thank you for all that you've done. Mr. Cherry, your family thanks you, your school team, and all of us thank you for all of your guidance, your support, and your love. Congratulations, Mr. Cherry. Well done. Let's take a picture. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I didn't recognize you under that mask. Thank you. See you. Okay. Last year's second Teacher of the Year finalist is Miss Erin Conley, a U.S. history teacher at Mattapique Middle School. Oh, great to see you, Miss Conley. A graduate of Kent Island High School, she received her bachelor's degree in history and secondary education from Salisbury University. A member of the SU Dance Company for 4 years, she won Most Outstanding Contribution for her work as a choreographer. Also at SU, she presented at the National Professional Development School's local, state, and national conferences on the topics of co-teaching and positive reinforcement. Some of her other activities at Mattapique Middle School include 8th grade team leader, student government advisor, faculty advisory chair, and PBIS committee member, as well as, if she has any more time, head coach for the Kent Island High School varsity dance team. She thanks her husband, her family, the administration, and her co-workers for their constant support and encouragement, as well as her students. Without them, she would not have been a Teacher of the Year finalist. And new mom?
Yes.
Yes, and new mom. Congratulations, Mrs. Conley.
An excellent dancer.
Well done.
Thank you.
Your mom showed me pictures this morning.
Okay, now it's time to introduce our third Teacher of the Year finalist, Jill Gill, a second grade teacher at Centerville Elementary School. Come right forward. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. Come on, bring your whole team. Absolutely. Mrs. Gill is committed to helping students strive to be the best they can be and to never, ever, ever give up. She received her Bachelor of Arts in Elementary Education with a special education endorsement from the College of Notre Dame in Maryland. She is devoted to helping her students flourish, develop, and become successful and confident learners while also building positive, collaborative relationships between the school and home, as well as the community. She enjoys volunteering her time by mentoring students, teachers, and new teachers. And when not in the classroom, Mrs. Gill enjoys spending time with her family, her husband Brian, and 2 daughters, Haley and Melanie. She supports her daughters being involved in their sports as a sports parent mom, if you want to put it that way, through all of their organizations. So let's hear it for our Teacher of the Year finalist, Mrs. Gill.
Bring it on me. There we go.
There we go. There we go.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's okay. I'm good. How are you?
All right, our fourth Teacher of the Year finalist is Mrs. Betty Reed. Mrs. Reed is a third grade teacher at Kennard Elementary School. Come on in, Ms. Reed. Step right forward. A Queen Anne's County native, she has been teaching third grade at Kennard for 17 years. She graduated from Queen Anne's County High School, received her bachelor's degree from Washington College, and a master's degree from Walden University in elementary reading and literacy. She lives right here in Chestertown with her husband, Mark, and their 3 children, Cooper, Ella, and Connor. The beach is her favorite place to visit, and she loves to read in her spare time when she's not on the sidelines at a soccer or lacrosse game. Congratulations to you, Mrs. Reed. Well done. Okay. Our fifth finalist for Teacher of the Year is from Kent Island High School, and that is Miss Amber Wright, dance teacher, who could not be here with us tonight. But Miss Wright, as you know, was our Teacher of the Year. She received her bachelor's degree in communication arts from Salisbury State University, later following her passion for teaching to become a certified teacher in Maryland. While at SSU, she choreographed and danced for their dance company. She started teaching at Graysonville Elementary, then became certification specialist for Queen Anne's County Public Schools. But she returned to the classroom to teach dance in Prince George's County and then at Kent Island High School. Miss Wright thanks her student, Abby Skaggs, for her heartfelt nomination. She's also grateful to her administration team for their support, the Kent Island High School staff, and other colleagues from around the county and the state who have offered encouragement. She thanks her parents, Mr. and Reverend George and Bernadette Wright, for sharing the words that carry her onward, and for Andrew, her son, who is her co-pilot, as well as all the other students and all of the folks at Kent Island High School. To her students, she owes many thanks because without them, she wouldn't have been considered for this prestigious award. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Wright was the fifth finalist for Teacher of the Year. And of course, 2019-2020 Teacher of the Year was Ms. Amber Wright, dance teacher from Kent Island High School. And again, we would like to congratulate all of the 2019-2020 Employees of the Year and Teacher of the Year finalists. Before we sit down, we do have a few other special recognitions, and this first special recognition is for Miss Barbara Wallace, the school bus driver for Sudlersville Elementary School and Sudlersville Middle School. All right, come forward, Miss Wallace. Come right here, Miss Wallace. You can step forward. Congratulations. Now, this special recognition has been submitted by a parent, Miss Jen Clark, and she said it was okay, I'm sure you know her, that we use her name. And these are her words. She says, I am not sure if there are ever special awards or recognitions for bus drivers, but I wanted to share with you how Ms. Wright went above and beyond her job and truly showed the level of care and commitment to children that all parents wish for their kids. It really isn't a surprise after all the amazing teachers and staff my kids and I have experienced with Sudlersville Elementary and middle schools. Sometimes the difficult job of the bus drivers seems to get overlooked. Ms. Wallace showed such amazing care and dedication on this day previously that it was unbelievable to her. As with a lot of us in the Sudlersville area, we live on a farm with a lane that goes back into the farm and a long driveway to our home. When my children were dropped off by Miss Wallace, they crossed the street and headed into the lane or the driveway where I watched from the front porch, but could not be seen from the road. There were a few cars behind Miss Wallace, and you tell us if you remember this. The car directly behind her belonged to the grandparents, of which Miss Wallace did not know it was them, who turned onto the lane after the bus had let the kids off and was pulling away. Miss Wallace was so vigilant that she noticed a car pulling behind the kids and start talking to them as she was leaving. She called the school immediately, who called me, to make sure that everything was okay and that my kids were okay. In today's world, I can't express how thankful I am for the extra effort by Miss Wallace and the SES staff. Miss Wallace had done her job and returned my kids safely and was extraordinary in not only noticing something could be wrong after she dropped them off, but calling the school to report it and make sure they got in touch with me, which they did immediately, and she commends them for that. A lot of times this smaller area of Queen Anne's County gets overlooked. But the team representing Queen Anne's County Public Schools up here is amazing, and you all need to be aware. I truly hope there is something that a school board can do to recognize the incredible commitment to safety that Ms. Wallace portrayed, but also the incredible way she represented the Queen Anne's County Public School system and the values we as parents appreciate more than words can express. Congratulations to you. Isn't that the best? Congratulations. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Let's take a photo. Well done. Thank you so much. And finally, we have two more special recognitions, and these are Green Schools Recertification Awards for Graysonville Elementary and Kennard Elementary School. Excellent. We got the whole crew. Excellent. Congratulations, Graysonville Elementary and Kennard Elementary School for recertifying as Maryland Green Schools. Graysonville Elementary has been a green school since 2014 and Kennard since 2007. Their recertification has furthered our commitment to maintaining 100% of our schools as green schools for the second year in a row. Queen Anne's County Public Schools is currently the only, let me say that one more time, the only county with all public schools having this recognition. Outstanding. The Maryland Green School Award represents a school-wide commitment to environmental literacy that includes staff, students, and the community. Their efforts make a difference today as well as for the future. We recognize the green efforts your schools have worked to achieve, and we commend this significant accomplishment. Congratulations, Graysonville and Kennard. Well done. Excellent. Thank you so much. That concludes the recognitions.
I'm good, summer.
Oh, you know what? I'll get a certificate for them. Yeah, all right. And if Ms. Wallace is still up there.
Thank you. Moving on now, we have our board and staff involvement. Board members, Tammy, you want to start?
I do, thank you. Good evening. I would like to recognize the staff at both high schools for organizing the graduations today. This seemed flawless and seamless. From the administrators, secretaries, teachers, guidance counselors, custodians, everyone. Truly thankful for these wonderful events today. To the class of 2021, congratulations. And again, may God bless you all and keep you safe. Congratulations today. It was a wonderful day.
Over the past month, I've witnessed the performances that were sent to us by dance performers and various bands through the middle school and high school level. After our meeting last week, I did pop into Queen Anne's County High School to sit through the recognition and awards night. Very nice. Always lots of awards. I think it went into the millions this year. And of course, Queen Anne's County High School graduation day. It was a beautiful ceremony and the weather was perfect for it.
I ditto the graduation. It was wonderful today. I went to Kent Island, and it was just so very cool to see those young people, young men and women who are ready to go out and make a difference, just like they've done already in the 4 years. So it was great to see it. I've also appreciated the performances online. I look forward to seeing them in person next year.
Yes.
All right. I was honored to attend the graduation at Queen Anne's High School and said congratulations 300 times, and I can do it one more time. Congratulations to all the students who graduated in class of 2021, and God bless.
Yes, I'll re-enter those words. I think the graduation, I was at Queen Anne's myself, and it was very nice. It's looked like things are getting back to normal, the way we need things to be. Very nice thing. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. It was really pleasant. It was
Nice change.
Nice change. I've been to a few of them in the evenings, and I thought the day went very smoothly. I think Ken Olive, from what I hear from the other board members, went well. And we've been to a couple other things. It amazes me what these students have done this year. Kudos to our staff, teachers, and the students and parents that have supported this year of unparalleled things that have happened, but we've gotten through it, and we're looking forward ahead. Dr. King?
Absolutely. Congratulations, first and foremost, to all of the graduates of the class of 2021. It has been quite the year, and they did it. To all of those who have supported them, their parents, their teachers, the administrators, all the community members, congratulations to all of them and for all of their support. Thank you. I'd just like to say it has been my honor to serve as the superintendent for Queen Anne's County for the last 4 years. I have learned so much. I'm a perpetual learner as well, and I have had the great honor of working with some of the most professional staff that I have encountered in my career, and I'd like to thank each of them for that. It truly has been my honor to serve. We have done a lot of great things over the past 4 years. We have improved some structures. We have put some things in place. We have done a lot of work with our students. We've continued our academic standing, and it has just been not all fabulous and wonderful, but all learning, right? And a lot of fabulous and wonderful. A lot of firsts have been accomplished, and I am very, very proud of that. So for that, I would just like to say thank you to all who have supported me professionally and personally. It has been my honor. Beginning on tomorrow, June 3rd, Dr. Patricia Salings will serve as the acting superintendent until June 30th. She will be on her post as her appointed, in her appointed role as superintendent starting July 1. So tonight is my last night, my last duty here as filling out this responsibility at this board meeting. So until we meet again, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And moving on, citizen participation. Mark, we ask all speakers.
Okay, so we ask all speakers to keep in mind the following guidelines. Speakers should sign the roster, including their telephone number and address. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes. Comments longer than 3 minutes should be submitted in writing. Questions or statements to the board should relate to a matter of general policy over which the board has authority. Comments about actions or statements of individual staff members are not appropriate for public comment and should be referred to the superintendent of schools or board president. If you have a specific question, the board will make sure an appropriate staff member responds to your question. The board respects your desire and right to convey your message freely, but asks as a courtesy to this board and our citizens to show respect for all.
Thank you. Our first speaker is Rich. You want to give us your name once more and address for the record?
Richard McNeil. I live out on White Marsh Road and represent the retired school personnel group. Good evening. Busy day for you all and graduation and so forth, and congratulate everybody who had help in that graduation at both schools. So my understanding that they both went very well, so good weather. And Dr. Kane, I want to thank you from our group for taking on this challenge 4 years ago. It probably never crossed your mind that you'd be in a pandemic halfway through that to make decisions and so forth. And good luck to you, or whatever your plans are, and if you're going to retire for real, good luck with that. So, anyway.
Part 2 on the way.
Our group would like to recognize, excuse me, 3 students who got our scholarship for this year, and I apologize right up front to the ladies and gentlemen who got these if I mispronounce your name. So, from Kent Island High School, we'd like to recognize Katina Ensley. She will be attending Wingate University, majoring in elementary education. She did go through the Teacher Academy pathway and was very much interested in that. She will receive both the academic and the book scholarship for Kent Island High School. So congratulations to Ms. Ensley. From Queen Anne's County High School, we'd like to recognize Taylor Walls. Will be attending Salisbury University, where she will be majoring in elementary education. So she will be receiving the academic scholarship from our group. The third one is Ashlyn Coons from Queen Anne's County High School, who will be attending the University of Valley Forge, where she plans on majoring in elementary education. Her dream is to return to Queen Anne's County and teach at Sellersville Elementary School. And she will be receiving the book scholarship from our organization. So congratulations to those 3. Like everything else that's sort of opening up, our group will be having a celebration this July 13th, and it'll be the first time in almost 600 days that we've been able to come together, just like I said, a lot of other things. And what we plan on doing is honoring retirees from last year, which we did not get an opportunity to do, and retirees from this year, plus our regular members. That'll be held at Centerville Methodist Church, 11:30. So if any of you would like to attend, just have to let us know so we can keep you counted for food. Okay. And lastly, as schools close, we'd like to, from our organization, give a big applause for all those who are in the schools, the teachers, the administrators, nurses, custodians, bus drivers, instructional supervisors, students, food services, and athletics, for completing a challenging year for instruction. And my hope and dream would be that we don't have to do this again, that schools can get off to a good start in the fall. And those students who might need a boost will get that over the summer. I know it's going to be a challenge for a lot of students who don't learn independently on a computer and need that instruction. And I've always had a heart for teaching, but not teaching on a computer. I'm glad I wasn't doing that. So, but thank you for all the teachers and the staff who got through the year. And we look forward to your support for our group and us supporting your group as we go forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. That's the only person I had sign up. Is that all we have, Jackie?
That's all that I have.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, we go into presentations. Educational Facilities Master Plan.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you. Yep, I'm good. This is, okay.
Right. Good evening, President Smith, members of the board, and Dr. Kane. My name is Carla Pullen. I'm the interim chief operating officer for Queen Anne's County Public Schools. I'm here this evening to talk to you about our educational facilities master plan. This is a document that we are required to submit yearly to Maryland Department of Planning per COMAR, and it essentially starts our capital funding requests to the state. So as we are finishing up our budget for fiscal year 22, we're already starting to look ahead at our requests for fiscal year 23. So this evening, I just want to familiarize you with this document so that you know what it is. Tomorrow, we're going to send you a link to the Google Drive that is going to give you an outline of the 130-page document, and it's going to give you a little bit of time to review it. So tonight, I just want to talk to you about the role of the Educational Facility Master Plan in our state funding process, talk to you a little bit about the schedule, talk to you about the draft version that you're going to see tomorrow, and then let you know that the final approval of this document will request at the June 16th work session so that we can submit it to the state by July 1st. Our Educational Facility Master Plan, it's the first part of a two-step process. This, as I mentioned before, is the process that we use to get our capital funding from the state. So the Educational Facilities Master Plan, it's a long-range plan. We project out a number of years to see what our facility needs are going to be. We do a yearly update. We look at our enrollment projections and how those are going to change, both in the next few years, but also in 10 years. We're going to prioritize our facility needs in that document, and then we'll outline the necessary future projects, especially the large ones such as renovations, additions, or new buildings. The capital improvement plan is the second part of that funding request, and I'll come back to you in October to discuss what those numbers look like. So that looks at the upcoming fiscal year, but it also projects out future years as well. We establish timelines for when we're going to request funding for all of our projects. Again, we're looking at the facility needs in that document, and we're looking at what local and state funding matches we're going to have to request from both the state and the county. Quick slide here just to outline where this is in COMAR. It is a COMAR requirement. It states the date that we have to submit it, so we are doing exactly what the state asks. Becky, I don't know if I can get some help to maybe reload. We've got a problem with the file. So I'll just talk to you a little bit about what the components are when you see the Educational Facility Master Plan. We have an introduction sheet that tells you what the components are. We look at educational goals, standards, and guidelines. So we look at our school system's mission, the vision, the core values, and the goals. And then we look at system-wide what our curriculum structure is and the different methods that we use to instruct students. We have applicable policies that deal with the way we organize schools by grade, by geography, We look at transportation and how that fits into getting all students to the right place, and then districting and redistricting. Thank you. If there's ever a time that we have to look at moving some of the boundaries of the school, this lays it out very clearly as to how we will do that. Enrollment and capacity, again, looks at our projections in the near future, but also within 10 years. And we look at the concurrence with Maryland Department of Planning. We send our numbers to them. They take a look, tell us if it's in line with what they're thinking, and we make sure that there's a match that's at least within 5%, so that there's no one going too far off the rails before we catch it. The community analysis is a partnership that we do with Queen Anne's County Planning and Zoning. We look at the demographics of Queen Anne's County. We look at the migration trends, the projections, building permits, subdivisions, and we study what's happening within our county. The Kent Island Sewer Project was a big project that we looked at several years ago in the Educational Facility Master Plan because it potentially has an effect on how many students we could see in some of our buildings. The infrastructure is also a big one. We take a look at how Queen Anne's County is suited for more building projects, more families, more students that potentially would be migrating to our county. The facility inventory looks at the size of our buildings. It looks at all of the components of our buildings to make sure that we are meeting the educational programs, and then looks at the different districts within Queen Anne's County Public Schools to see if we have equitable findings in all of them. And then our facility needs, we look at the utilization of each of the buildings. We see how much space is being utilized. If we are over the state rated capacity, it's usually over 100%. At this point, we have a couple buildings that are close, but not too many that are over. And we look at our future facility needs. Again, if we will need to build new buildings, if we are going to need to do major renovations or updates of some sort. The dates that we look at for the Educational Facility Master Plan, we talk to you in June, we submit in July. The Capital Improvement Plan, we'll talk to you in the September-October timeframe. We'll submit it to the state in October. We don't start talking to the county about their state match for our funding until February, March, or when we start that budget process and the discussions with them. And then capital funding comes available to us on July 1st. Typically, for planning and design on these projects, we're 1 to 2 years in advance of actual construction. So we typically are planning buildings and large projects for about 2 years before we ever break ground. The next steps are pretty easy. We're going to get this document out to you. We'll just ask you to take some time to review it. We'll discuss it again at the June 16th meeting in detail. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns as you're looking over it, if there's anything that you want us to explain in greater detail, certainly please contact me. We can also have a discussion at the June 16th work session about anything that comes up, and we'll ask for your approval at that meeting, but we can also do it with any changes that may come up at that time. Are there any questions this evening?
Thanks for the information, but just real quick, will the report that's coming out, will it have which schools are close to 100%, which schools are over?
Yes, it will show all of the utilization, it'll show the projections, it'll show the state rated capacity for each of the buildings, so you can take a look at each of them in depth. Yep.
This thing, is it pretty much 90%, 100% done now?
Yes.
Could a couple copies be made and left here for board members to pick it up if they want to look at it with a hard copy?
Yes, if you would like a hard copy, I'd be very happy to make you hard
It's
copies.
130 pages. If we could just, if the board says it, if we could just have a couple here, a couple of us are in Centerville could look at it. We have another budget meeting next Wednesday. We'd give other board members a week to, besides look on a computer, could make notes, and I think would be helpful if we could do that.
We certainly can do that.
Would that be all right with all the board
Oh,
members?
yeah, sure. Yeah.
I just think it would be clearer than because you have questions, you look on a computer and you write something down, and
Sure.
I think it'd be easier just to make clip note or notes on there and just stick them to you.
Yep, we'll have the copies available for you starting tomorrow.
And just a couple or something.
Okay.
Any other questions? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We're scheduled for a break, but everybody's ready to keep going, aren't they?
Please.
Okay, Human Resource Report.
Mr. Smith, may I make a motion to accept the human resources and substitute bus driver report as presented in closed session?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of saying aye? Aye. Ayes have it, 5-0.
Thank you.
Okay, our next, we have no transfer requests, Jane. We're all straight right now. Okay, contracts for approval, 803, Power School Zoology.
They probably can't hear. Can you Yep, please come forward. We're going to talk about the Schoology contract.
Good evening, President Smith, Dr. Kane, members of the school board and executive team. My name is Julie Forbes, Supervisor of Accountability, Assessment, and Data Management.
Hello, my name is Michael Page. I'm a curriculum supervisor, and today we are here. The Department of Curriculum and Instruction is seeking the approval of Schoology by Power School, a learning management system, in order to continue to support Queen Anne's County Public Schools. Schoology provides an online learning environment for all schools in which allows users to create, manage, and share academic content in both the traditional and virtual classroom environment. This contract is for a period of July 1, 2021 to June 30th, 2022 for the amount of $43,668.52, and this is through the ESSER 2 grant.
And this is the same thing we're using currently.
Correct.
With us going back to school in a more normal situation, is this still this size of purchase necessary?
So a learning management system, it was really designed to be used for in-person instruction. So we're going to work over the summer with the input of our Schoology teacher leaders to talk about that transition to in-person instruction. But it's really what it was ultimately designed for. It's been around for about 10 years just as a system, and we've implemented it for one. So yes, and also it'll be a great asset on any inclement weather days to have as that resource to use as well.
Not to get ahead of myself, but the budget source here is the ESSER grant, ESSER 2 grant, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I look on the next thing we're having for a Power School Performance Matters Assessment. Are they two completely different things?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But it's by, the Schoology is a part of the Power School performance?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What was our cost last year, just roughly?
You know, I apologize, I don't have it with us. They did give us a discount last year, so I think the first year of implementation, per pupil, it was about 50% less, and that's typical of what happens the first year, but we did pay a bit for professional development. So roughly, we ended up with a total amount in a similar range, and that was covered by the CARES Act funding last year.
I mean, I think we paid our whole staff one day to do that.
That's correct. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's part of the training in August.
And this falls under the ESSER 2 grant, Ms. Towers? Right. As far for furthering education. Mr. Smith, may I make a motion to approve these learning management Schoology system contract period July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022, fiscal dollar amount of $43,668.52, budget source ESSER 2 grant.
Second.
A motion and a second. And this will be for one more year. do we anticipate it after that, or is it something that's going to, not, I'm not saying go away, but is it something that's got a life expectancy or something?
I believe that, and I will rely on Dr. Kane and Ms. Towers for this, but I do believe that all school systems in Maryland are going to be required to have a learning management system by, is it 2022? Is that accurate?
That is correct. So a learning management system was something that we needed to have in order to organize the way we do instruction, period. So Queen Anne's County was one of, I think, 2 school districts in the state that did not have one. Luckily, we were able to acquire this right before, it became critical that we have one before the pandemic, so we were able to get it. This was also a recommendation from the audit, the curriculum audit that was done some years ago. It just took a bit to get the funding in order to do it. So it is something that will be around for
more,
forever.
Okay. Right now, it's going to fall under ESNR grant, and at some point, we might have to put it in an operating budget. I mean, that's not your problem, but that's Jane issue.
So are these funds that were already budgeted, or are they coming out of the budget that we're planning to approve in the coming weeks?
Yeah, this is
This is ESNR grant. This is our
Grant money.
grant money.
Oh, okay, all right.
Did we pick Schoology? Was there a competitive bidding, or was this a sole source for this particular management system?
Great question. It was sole source due to the affiliation with Power School, and we presented it as sole source last, I believe it was June.
We already had Power School, and they just added Schoology in at the time because we needed virtual learning. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, that's accurate.
Did this last June.
Thanks.
Like at the last minute, right before
Yes.
July 1st.
Yeah.
Okay, do I have any further discussion? Have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Those ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you both.
Are they here for the next one too, or that's something?
Yes. Okay, and so the second contract that I'm presenting is Power School Performance Matters Assessment Analytics Choice. And so this is our data warehouse that we've been using, for quite a few years. And so what this does is we use this system to administer our local assessments that we give locally throughout the year. And it also is the place where teachers, principals, school leaders, district leaders go to look at data, look at and look at a lot of different metrics and different points kind of in one place. It's essentially like a data dashboard that we use quite a bit. Schools use it for their improvement plans, ongoing progress monitoring of students. So it's our assessment tool that we've used for a long time. And the cost of that one is $74,451.03. And that does come out of the operating budget, which is where it's continued to come from in the past.
I guess same questions. Was this also a sole source, or?
It was adopted before my time, so I don't know the answer to that. It has been in our district for quite some time. Originally, it was called Unify, and then Power School acquired it, but we already had it at that time, so I apologize. I don't know what the process was back when this was adopted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So annually, we're paying about $75,000. So you said it's for assessments. Did we do assessments this past year?
So this year, due to the pandemic, we did not use it as we typically do, which was similar to other school systems. So typically what we do, we use it to administer our English assessments, math, social studies, science, and so those are all built in the system, and we use it on an annual basis. We have continued to use it for a lot of data analysis, and teachers use it quite a bit. Teachers use it as part of the teacher evaluation process when they set their student learning objectives, and they look at those data measures, and those assessments are often part of that. So we did not give as many assessments this past year due to the circumstance, but we anticipate we will be back to where we were in the fall. So.
Ms. Towers, what was it budgeted for in 2021? Do you have that? I apologize, I didn't look it up before I got here. That's okay. And another question I have is, could we also use the ESSER funds for this? Or since it was
That would be
on?
my question, because we have a budget hearing, not budget, budget meeting next week, and I know we're looking at different ways to fund
Correct.
things. And this might be an idea we could put into ESSER rather than in our regular budget.
Yeah, that's the question I had.
I think it's good.
But since it's an ongoing
Well, if
platform that we've used, can it be put into the ESSER funds?
we qualify for that, there would be a place to put it and would relieve us some other money.
Yes. We could tie it to learning loss.
Especially with the assessments.
And if this can't be
Especially
answered right now,
assessments.
could we make this decision next meeting too? That would be my other question. We're asking you a lot of questions real quick, so.
Yeah, is that a problem, Ms. Forbes, if we waited until the June 16th meeting, since it's not until August 1st?
I don't believe so. I don't think that should be an issue. We are,
Of the essence?
no, it's, the contract starts August 1st, so.
Could we put this item on next week's agenda? Would that be a problem?
How about the 16th, since next week is going to be?
Okay, put it on, would the 16th be all right?
Sure.
And then,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I make a motion to table the vote on Power School Performance Matters to the June 16th work session.
Second.
Ms. Wright, you note that?
We have to do a vote. You have a motion and a second, sir. We just need a
Motion to
vote.
second, any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks,
I
Ms.
mean,
Forbes.
that, well,
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And the third contract I have for you this evening is our contract with the College Board. And so this contract pays for us to offer, we offer the PSAT and MSQT, which is the National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test, for all of our students in 10th grade. And we also offer the SAT school day for our students in 11th grade.
this is no charge to our students.
That's correct, our students do not.
This covers the cost of their,
Yeah.
and I think we've done that over the past few years too. I believe.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, it's been something we've been offering for some time, and we're still able to offer this year as well. So we were able to continue that.
And this number, I guess, reflects how many students take advantage of this.
Yes, yeah, and it can fluctuate, so this is what we, the contract is for, but if for some reason our numbers were to go down, we don't pay for those assessments, we pay for the ones that are administered.
Can this be tied to learning loss?
No.
No? Okay.
Roughly what's it cost for each test?
They differ. I know the SAT is more, and something also to note is the SAT also is a piece of our accountability system. So we are required by accountability, state accountability, to test all students in high school in English language arts and mathematics. So our students who take Algebra 1 in 8th grade also need an assessment while they're in high school. So it's kind of nice that it assists with that.
This covers a lot of students.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's during the school day, which is great. So then, and the high schools do a great job of, ensuring participation, and students are able to participate in that.
Okay.
Let's see. So I think PSAT fluctuates from about 12, PSAT is about 12 to 14, so that's the lesser one. And the SAT is a little bit more. And that ranges between, I believe it's 30 and 36 per student.
And I had a question about that, because it seems as is it tied into our national school lunch program, is based on the price?
Yeah, so we do receive waivers. So we do, students who qualify for free and reduced meals, we are able, for those who consent for us to share the information with the College Board, we're able to apply for waivers. So we do that every year as well, and we submit those numbers to the College Board. So sometimes that'll bring the cost down even further.
But we're paying a certain amount, or doesn't matter if we're getting a waiver, or still this contract is for a certain amount?
That's correct, yeah. And also, like, if for some reason in one year we had more students who qualified for free and reduced meals, we'd actually see this number go down because they do cover a part of that student's sign up. So it can fluctuate a little bit, but this
I was
is
just
kind of-
curious, it did say that we're charged whether or not the students actually take the test. This is, I guess, is a practice, or it's a...
The PSAT is the practice.
Right, so
yeah.
do you know what the ratio is taking the College Board versus taking the PSAT?
Oh, Our 10th graders take the PSAT, and we have really high participation. This year was different, and I could certainly go back and get the actual numbers for you because I don't want to estimate
it's
it.
okay,
But I know the high schools do an excellent job of encouraging each and every student. And again, it's during a regular school day. And for the SAT, again, it counts for an accountability piece. Just about the majority of our students take it unless there's an unusual circumstance. So it's also just a great opportunity to provide to all students that, again, it's during the school day, we have transportation. Again, it's accessible to everyone, and the cost is covered. So I think it's wonderful that we offer this.
Other comments?
What did we have budgeted, Ms. Towers, in this line item?
On the last one for performance matters was 74,000, and under the college budgeted last year at 25,000.
So it's jumped from 25 to 32,000 for this year.
I think there was not last year.
I believe it had to do with the pandemic. Last year was kind of an unusual year. We had paid the contract, and I believe it had to do with offering the SAT. Typically, we offer the SAT to juniors in the spring, but because of the school closure in March of the prior year, we weren't able to, so we actually offered the SAT to seniors in September. So I think that we had paid the prior year, and I believe it may have covered that. It was pretty unusual. So this year we did SAT from the prior year, and then a smaller PSAT and a smaller SAT administration, because this year students were highly encouraged to come in, but we didn't have as high of the rates that we normally do participating, because typically the school day is really what increases our participation. So
I think it was at 8,500 credits.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, any other further questions?
So, Mr. Smith, may I offer a motion to renew the ongoing contract with College Board for the school year July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. Fiscal impact dollar amount of $32,641. Budget source, the FY 2022 operating budget.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Ayes have it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Material of instruction.
Thanks, Mr. Tolley.
Good evening. Through you, Mr. President, Dr. Kane, members of the board. For the record, my name is Adam Tolley, Supervisor of Social Studies and CTE, and I'm here tonight to seek approval to purchase two high school textbook series. First one, World History Interactive, for total amount of $38,439.29 from the FY capital textbook budget. And then the second is AP World History, World Civilizations, Global Experience for a total of $29,986.69. And the AP contract is for 6 years, and the regular World History is a contract for 8 years. And just checking before I came down, there have been no comments on the website with regard to the textbooks.
When I see 6 and 8 years, the figure I'm seeing is for 1 year.
This is a total for all years.
So the first one, the 29,986.
Yes.
I can divide it by 6, so basically the cost is a little about $5,000.
About $5,000 per year, correct. And that's the AP. The AP does not offer they don't offer the 8-year option. And if you remember when we did the public read, we had changed it up right before because they had thrown out that 8-year option, which really is a great value for 8 years. And again, that's a 2022 copyright on that textbook. So even after 8 years, it's still going to be fairly current.
I mean, these are, standard books for these type of classes. I mean, it's just something has to, and not has to, but something comes in as a.
Absolutely, and it is, so we have the physical textbooks that'll be in the classroom, a class set for everybody. AP, a little bit different just for the reading, so we have a textbook for the students to take home as well, even though there is a digital option so the students can download so if they have internet issues, they can actually download, if they come to school, download the textbook as a PDF and then access it at home or wherever they are.
A hardback book.
Yes, sir.
What's the life expectancy of one of those things for students?
Well,
you actually get, 6 years out of it.
We do, and I think it's, at least in my area, we've kind of shifted away from, because of, our one-to-one initiative and being able to access it, via the internet and then be able to download the textbook. Keeping the classroom sets has increased the life expectancy on those books, so they're not being taken home and thrown around on the bus and in the locker room and on the soccer field and that type of thing. So we've made up pretty well. And again, that is, with the one-to-one initiative and students being able to have access to the computer and accessing it whenever they need to, it's definitely helped out. And it cuts down on costs as well, not having to order a textbook for every single student.
But the textbook is available if the student wants it.
Absolutely. Yep, there's 320 to be split between the schools for that one grade level, which is more than enough, because one classroom teacher could teach 3 sections of world history, for example, and they would only need 30 textbooks as a class set. So there's enough, and if there is a student who needs to take the book home for whatever reason, then they can sign the book out and take it home. Absolutely.
Okay. Any other questions by this board?
Mr. Smith, may I offer a motion to approve the purchase, the new textbooks and digital licenses for World History Interactive High School Modern Era, fiscal impact dollar amount of $38,439.29, budget source FY21 capital textbook budget.
I have a motion. Second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, 5-0.
Mr. Smith, may I offer a motion to purchase the new textbooks and digital licenses for World Civilizations, The Global Experience, AP edition, fiscal impact dollar amount of $29,986.69, budget source the FY21 capital textbook budget.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Very
Chairman.
good. Thank you all very much for your support.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Mr.
Dr.
Tolley.
King.
Capital project, interior painting, Mattapick Elementary.
Good evening once again, board members and Dr. Kane. I'm here this evening to request your approval of a contract with Page Industrial Services to paint the interior of the building at Mattapick Elementary School. This is a contract utilizing cooperative purchasing with Gordian Sourcewell. We will be repainting all of the interior spaces of the building. This includes our walls, our ceilings, door frames, and any previously painted doors. We'll be completing the work this summer, so June 15th to August 15th, to get ready for the students to come back. The fiscal dollar amount is $147,198.17. We are trying to budget at least one school repainting project per year so that we are on a regular schedule, and this was budgeted as a part of fiscal year 2021 in the comprehensive building assessment line item.
How often do we repaint an interior of a school? How often does it need to be done?
There are a number of schools who have not been repainted since they were built. So within the last 5 years, we have tried to get on a schedule where we are repainting every 7 to 10 years, because that's typically the life expectancy of paint, especially in buildings where we have drywall surfaces. They need to be done a lot faster. Our elementary schools right now are the ones that are the most needy. We've utilized this same contract to do Sudlersville Elementary School, Graysonville Elementary School, and Churchill Elementary School over the last 3 years, and we've had great success with those. So Mattapique will be one of our next. After elementaries are finished, then we move on to our middle schools. We do have several newer middle schools that are not in need of that yet, and then on to our high schools.
Have we ever had to do lead remediation on any of our?
No, at this point, we don't have active lead in any of the buildings. All of our buildings have had comprehensive renovations, and we've taken care of that during that process.
Last one was Stevensville Middle School.
Yes, that's right.
And was this a sole source?
It's not sole source, it's cooperative purchasing. So it is an already bid contract. We have gotten 2 other competitive prices just to see where this falls.
And Mattapique Elementary School was opened in 2003?
2004 was the official date.
And
Yep,
it hasn't
has
been
not
painted
been painted since then. Yes.
And you've worked with this person or this group before, so you feel confident they can meet their obligation as far as getting them by the opening of school year?
Yes, they've been able to do it with the other 3 schools.
And that
we've
school's not
tasked
being
them with.
utilized during the summer?
No.
For anything, so.
No, we may have some Parks and Rec activity happening there, but nothing that will preclude us from working within the building this summer.
That won't interfere their ability to finish. I mean, we would have to do something with Parks and Rec, and painting's a priority if we have a contractor in there.
That's correct. We definitely make sure it's the priority, and we have actually worked around summer school and other programs with this contractor, and they're very flexible. That's one of the reasons that this contract has worked so well for us.
Okay, I have the contract in front of us. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Smith, may I offer a motion to approve the contract with Page Industrial Services to paint Mattapique Elementary School, fiscal impact dollar amount of $147,198.17, budget source FY 2021 comprehensive building assessment.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore.
Okay. Yep, in front of us, we've talked about our next year's schedule. To start it off with, our next, well, we have meetings in June, but this is for the 21-22 school board schedule. July the 7th would be our regular school board meeting. I am going to suggest that we scratch July the 8th. We will have July the 14th and July 21st as 2 work sessions in July, since we do have a few things we have to address. Any other comments that any other board members would? And of course, as we go through the year, something could change, but as we know, our first meeting is the first Wednesday of every month, and the third Wednesday is our work session, which is fine. Anybody else have any?
Can I make a suggestion? Then October 27th and November 10th, could we get rid of those 2 dates?
Okay.
The October 6th.
27th.
Right, and November 10th. I don't know why November 10th is in there. It's not the first or the third week.
Does anybody know a reason why Jackie's are just, is that from last year or something? That's right, I'm sorry.
Last year, and sometime MAPE has their conferences around those times.
We need to schedule a session for that.
No, we don't, but I did.
Okay. I have no problem. You want to drop the 27th, October 27th, and November the 9th? And they could always be added if necessary.
November 10th,
October the 27th and November the 10th.
please.
Any other suggestions? Okay, we have in front of us those corrections. I've marked them up. Do we need to approve this? Motion to approve, or just?
Make a motion to approve the 2021-2022 school board meeting schedule as amended.
First and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Information items, no. Expenditure report.
Good evening, President Smith, Dr. Kane, board members. Tonight we bring before you the monthly expenditure report for month ending May. I As you can see, our spending to date, we're at 91% as of the end of May. Total outstanding encumbrances is a little over 14.1 million. Total expenses is $75,797,646. Any question?
We're having a budget meeting next Wednesday.
Yes.
You'll have some pretty close numbers then of where we are for finals, I would think by then, or?
Right. Last week, what we gave you was very conservative amounts. We've had cutoff dates as far as
There's
spending.
been no major, since that report, there's been no.
I can take a look at it and provide updated
Just so
numbers.
we have it for the next meeting, if there's any changes or any drastic changes. Okay. Board have any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. No transfer notices? Oh, here we are again. Ms. Pullen.
So in a typical year, we would be here with you to discuss our meal price proposal for the upcoming school year. This is just an informational item for you this evening, and what we would typically do is to give you an overview of how those prices are determined, and then to let you know what we are proposing as those breakfast and lunch prices. This year, the National School Lunch Program has extended their waivers through the USDA. So normally we would look at a formula based on what the USDA gives us to determine what those breakfast and lunch prices should be. At this time, because of the pandemic, those formulas have not even come out to us yet. So for the 2021 and 2022 school year, the breakfast and lunch will be free for all students. Those waivers have been extended through June 30th of 2022.
So it'll be free lunch for everybody?
It will be free breakfast and lunch for everyone for the entire next school year.
And the federal government's reimbursed us for this?
That's correct.
And we've been reimbursed for all the other Meals on Wheels and everything else we've done?
Yes.
So all their obligations are met to us?
Yes. So we do have some current ones that are within the current month, but there's nothing that's in arrears at this point. What I can tell you is that for our meal prices, for any that would be a second meal, so we do have some students who choose to purchase either a second breakfast or a second lunch, we will not be increasing our rates for those second meals. So the 2021-2022 meal prices, as you'll see them listed here, are the same as they are this year, and they would only apply to a second meal for those students. So breakfast at $150, elementary lunch at $250, middle and high lunch at $275. We have breakfast and lunch available to our staff and to the adults. Breakfast at $250, lunch at $450, and an additional milk 50 cents. But the first meal will be covered by the waiver and free to all students. So we just wanted to bring that to you and let the public know that that's what we anticipate for next school year.
Is that even if we have it in school? I mean, if we're having breakfast and lunch in the schools?
Yes.
So how is this Sodexo taken care of?
How's what?
How is Sodexo taken care of?
So we have a guarantee, and there's a reimbursement for each of the meals, so that allows us to pay
Through the
Sodexo
government.
guarantee. Yes.
Okay, so they'll be able to get there, we'll be able to honor our contract
We'll be
with
able
Sodexo.
to, yes. And we did concur with Sodexo about meal prices. If the waivers were not extended, it was not their recommendation at this time that we do any type of increase, even if we were outside of the waivers, because we do have some fund balance in the Sodexo accounts from previous years, and we didn't feel this would be the time to raise prices anyway. So we're able to continue with the ones that we have.
That's great.
When the government, is the government paying us dollars, or are they sending us food?
It's actually reimbursement through dollars.
Reimbursed, we're
Yes.
purchasing the food.
Yes, Sodexo, yes.
And all our,
Sodexo.
I got one little piece of information that might not be correct. It's not expired or anything. I mean, I know once in a while a quart of milk might be expired because something went wrong.
No.
Overall,
There are very stringent safety measures that Sodexo and any food service has to follow. And so
So that's not happening.
it's very closely followed.
Any other questions? But our contract with Sodexo, the numbers are working there, even though we're giving free and reduced, or not free, we're giving free lunches. They're still solvent as far as what they're doing.
Yes. And it has been the same for this year as well.
Right, well, not this year concerned me, but next year is going to concern me even more. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. For the record, I'm Vanessa Bass, Human Resources Director, and I bring before you HR policies. Policy 404 and 401.1. Those are your educators, that's your principals, assistant principals, curriculum instruction, teachers. This is our licensure. It has to be monitored with MSDE, and we monitor it in HR. This is an update for you. This is information first read only. And we had to update it based on new laws. It had not been updated for quite a while, and we are changing to, and it'll be a lot of things that I would have to explain to you one-on-one. We used to take something called the National Teachers Exam. I was covered under that. Then they went to practice exams for, much like your SATs, if you scored well on your SATs, you didn't have to take your practice one. The score above 1,200 would let you come on in, and then you would just have to take your subject exam, special ed, art, or whatever the practice exam Educational Testing Services told us we had to keep our licensures. Other than that, it would be after you get your BA, you can take coursework. You wouldn't have to take, not unless you wanted a new endorsement. Every time you get a new endorsement on your license, you would have to do something for that endorsement. So when I get the questions, are the people highly capable? Yes, they are, because it's based on MSDE.
And this is replacing a BOE resolution number 8093, which was written in 1993. One of the ones we had discussed at length.
So it goes on to tell you what we do, what our responsibility is, and what the teacher, educator, / principals, assistant principals have to do to keep their licensure. And it's also noted on our license.
So do you want to do these all at once, Mr. Smith, or one at a time, or?
I think I had no problem grouping them all. Just
grouping it all at one time?
Read the policy number, because it's the first read. So.
Do you want to do the personnel records as well? And Title IX and the policy for student nutrition?
Does anybody have any questions? Matt's in the back to answer any questions. Anybody have any questions on this right now?
Well, I do have a question on the Title IX. That's not true, okay.
Matt'll be up.
Okay.
I shared with him, but Matt'll be presenting that.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, do you think the best way you want to do them all at once, or you do them separately, or how do you?
Well, I think if there are questions about individual ones, you
Just
certainly
ask.
can, if you separate them. You don't need to approve anything, so
That's
this
right.
is the
We're
time
just
to
sending
ask
them out
questions.
first read.
This is for first read.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Okay,
it.
so does anybody have any questions for Ms. Bass right now?
Thank you.
Okay, sorry.
And you have another one?
I had one more,
Okay, do it.
423.
Okay.
423. It is personnel records. It is a brand-new policy. We did not have a policy to speak on what we need to do, what should be in files, what cannot be in files, what people can look at, as well as myself, how to do it. So I get a little nervous when we do not have policies and regulations for that. So that will be brand spanking new. I was the one that was a little nervous about it. So it had no resolution, it has nothing to review. So it will be first read and also a new policy.
Thank you, Ms. Bass.
Thank you. First chair, second chair.
Good evening, President Smith, Dr. Kane, members of the board. For the record, my name is Matt Evans, Supervisor of Student Services. I'm here with an updated Title IX Policy 528, Title IX Regulation 528.1. In short, the U.S. Department of Education published new regulations regarding sexual harassment under Title IX of the Education Amendments, and these went into effect in August of 2020. So what you have before you in the policy and the regulation are those updates.
So everything in red is basically what's updated.
Correct.
Anybody have any questions on this right now?
Well, I just had a question on page 2. It was interesting, the next to last paragraph where it says, although there is no time limit per se to filing a formal complaint. So I noticed that part of, like, you could complain that somebody made an inappropriate joke, right? That could be a complaint. So they could, in theory, have heard a joke and been offended as a freshman, and then they could present it and make a complaint when they're a senior?
Where exactly is it?
It's on page 2, and it says, although there is no time limit per se to filing a formal complaint, for complaints initiated by the complainant or his or her parent or guardian, the complainant must be employed by the district or participating in. So it's the last paragraph, full paragraph, because in the rest is A, B, C, and D in parentheses on the
It's in the regulation I have.
regulation. Yes, sorry.
So that is correct. And again, this was, and the regulation is almost completely revised just to the new U.S. Department of Education updates in the regulation and the law. So that's exactly what's reflected in the regulation. So it says, although there's no time limit per se, so ultimately a student, and you give the example of a comment, I know, but there could be something more serious.
Well, no, I understand that, but I'm just saying, in theory, if someone heard a joke as a freshman that they were offended by, they could bring a formal complaint as a senior.
That is correct. And just by filing a formal complaint, that does not mean that there will be a formal investigation completed. So.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Page.
Good evening again. My name is Michael Page. I'm a curriculum supervisor, and I'm here to present to you the policy 640 and the regulation 640.1, which is the student nutrition, health, and wellness policy. And these are updates to an audit that we had. So the information that you see in here was requested by MSDE that we have 2 items within our policy. That is that we clearly articulate that there is a triannual assessment that is performed on our wellness policy, and that is required by the Health, Hunger, Free Act of 2010. And they also requested that we have specifics within our policy about community interaction within the policy. Also, what we have before you is the regulation 640.1, and 640.1 is an update to a lot of the food services that we provide to our students. So free and reduced lunches, our nutrition standards and so on. So there has been a lot of updates that have come from multiple departments: food services, curriculum and instruction, student services, and human resources. So this is a overall policy and regulations that is kind of the wellness of our entire community in regards to our staff, our students, and our community members. And these are kind of the guidelines that we follow in regards to that.
Any questions by the board?
I was curious, I know I can look it up. If you have a quick link, though, would you mind sending me that information that this policy is based on? You were saying what was it based on?
So there's several things that it's based on, and I can absolutely send it to you, yes.
Yeah, that'd be great, because I was curious, it did say that they wanted you to get, all students to get 60 minutes of activity in a day. Do they still do PE? I thought we ended, is there PE throughout the entire 12?
So there's two things within here, and they kind of are separated. So there's physical education, and then there's physical activity.
Okay.
Would you like clarification on those timeframes? Is that what you're?
No, I think that if you could just, it'd be greatly appreciated if you just lead me to where we're pulling the information from. That would.
Mr. Page.
Okay, yes.
If I may, Ms. Bennett, if you look on the policy itself, under specific references and titles, the very last, number 6, it gives you where the COMAR references are, the Maryland Wellness Policies, Practices, Center for Disease Control, Journal of School Health, and Code of Federal Regulation, Title 7. It lists them all there. Okay. And don't we have this, when it's a policy, don't we have links to those on the website?
So you're asking me if these are specifically linked? I don't.
Yeah, when they're in the.
I do not think they are, but
okay.
but I can do that if that's normal practice.
No, I'm just.
But I can absolutely send you.
Yeah, thanks. No, it's just an area of interest for me, and I find it fascinating that we seem so into everybody's life about this nutrition and wellness, and I just want to see where it comes from.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is pretty much a brand new regulation then.
So this actually comes from policy 701, which is also listed as wellness within there. And that was one of the conversations that the policy committee had 2 weeks ago in regards to how to handle this policy. And what essentially we're doing is we're taking 701 and 640 and moving them together. Essentially, they say the same thing, but 701 was so outdated from 2011 that we decided to scrap the regulations and redo them. And that's where you see them reflected in 640.1.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Page.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on, future school board meetings. Our next meeting will be next Wednesday for a budget work session, and we also have one scheduled for the 16th, another budget work session. And I think we adopted our 21-22 draft board meeting, which will be out for next year. There's no public comment. Motion to move into executive closed session.
Pursuant to the general provisions, Article 3-305 and 3-104, I move for the board to meet in closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointed employees over whom this public body has jurisdiction, to consider matters that relate to negotiations, to consult with counsel, and to perform an administrative function.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. This concludes our regular board meeting tonight of June the 2nd. Thank you.